All right, today we're diving into a really cool piece of gear. It's something that solves a huge, high-stakes problem for people who put themselves in harm's way every day. So, let's jump right in. So, think about this for a second. It's a pretty simple question on the surface, but the answer, it's really complicated. I mean, if your job depends on using a specific tool under pressure, you've got to practice, right? But what if that tool is a weapon? How in the world do you build those life-saving skills without, putting anyone in real danger?
And right there, that's what we call the training paradox. On one hand, professionals have to get that hands-on practice. It's all about building muscle memory. But on the other hand, using a live functional device like a taser for drills, whoa, not only is that super dangerous, but you could also end up breaking some really expensive mission-critical gear. It's a classic catch-22.
So, what's the workaround? What's the solution here? Well, you might be surprised to hear it's not some other high-tech piece of gear. Actually, the most effective solution is something that was designed specifically not to work.
And this is where things get really clever. The answer to doing this kind of training safely and effectively? It's a perfect replica. One that looks and feels the part, but is completely inert.
Okay, so here it is, the Taser 7 training simulator from Rings Manufacturing. This little thing is the answer to that whole training paradox we were talking about. It's an exact copy, physically it's identical, but it's totally non-functional, and that's what makes it the perfect tool for super realistic but totally risk-free tactical training.
So you're probably wondering, what makes this replica so good at its job? Well, its design really boils down to three key things, three pillars that all work together. Let's break them down.
First up, and this is probably the most important one, realism. I mean, for any training to actually stick, it has to feel real. There's just no way around it. So how do they pull that off? Well, this simulator is precision molded from a real Taser 7. That means it has the exact same size, the same weight, the same balance, everything feels just right. This is huge because it lets officers practice everything from drawing and holstering to really complex stuff like weapon retention and disarming drills. It's all about building that crucial muscle memory that kicks in when things get real. Okay, so having a tool that feels real is one thing. But, it also has to be tough enough to actually survive the training. And that brings us to our second pillar, durability.
And believe me, this thing is built like a tank. It's made from this solid, high-impact polyurethane, which means it's not going to bend or flex on you. You can drop it, you can grapple with it, you can put it through the ringer day in and day out, and it's just going to keep on going. It's a serious investment in being prepared. Which brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. And honestly, this might be the most important one of all. Safety. This is a perfect example of safety by design. See that distinct blue color? That's what's known as law enforcement blue. And it's not just for looks, not at all. It's a critical safety feature. It means that anyone in a training scenario can tell at a single glance that this is a non-functional tool. There's no dangerous confusion. Now, sure, you can get them in other colors, but that bright blue, that's the unmistakable industry standard for this is safe. All right, let's do a quick recap. What are we looking at here? It's made of that super tough polyurethane. It's a spot-on replica of a real Taser 7. Plus, it's made right here in the USA and comes with a warranty. So you've got realism, durability, and safety all packed into one device. Okay, so we've talked about what this thing is and how it's built. But the big question is, who's actually using it out there? And the list is actually pretty long and diverse. You've got law enforcement officers, corrections officers, security folks, even bail enforcement agents. Bounty hunters. And of course, all the new recruits coming up through police academies. It's even used by civilian defense trainers. It really just goes to show you how critical this kind of safe, hands-on training is for pretty much everyone in public safety. So, at the end of the day, why does the simple blue piece of plastic matter so much? Well, because it's the bridge. It connects what happens in the training room to what happens out on the street. There's a quote that really hits the nail on the head. Realistic training without risk helps sharpen vital skills needed in real-world scenarios. And that's exactly it. The whole point is to sharpen those vital skills. When you take the risk out of the equation, you let people focus completely on their technique, on repetition, on getting it right, so they're ready when it really matters. And that's the real payoff, right? This isn't just about learning a single move. It's about building pure instinct, because better training creates that ingrained muscle memory. That's what cuts down on mistakes when the pressure is on, and it just makes a professional that much more prepared.
And that preparedness, that leads directly to better outcomes and ultimately a safer community for all of us.
So I'll leave you with this thought. We just looked at one simple, kind of brilliant piece of training gear. And it really makes you wonder, right? What other invisible tools and hidden training methods are out there, working behind the scenes every single day to keep our communities and our professionals safe?